That's right. Guess who's back? It's me, Greg, a.k.a. Crazy G from NECR, New England Concert Reviews. As always, I have an amazing artist with me on the phone. He is vocalist Jaret Reddick for the pop-punk band Bowling for Soup. Hello, welcome, and thanks for taking the time to speak with us here at NECR. What's going on with your crazy self?
Good to be here. Yeah, man, I'm rolling down the streets and heading into Chicago here shortly. Second day of the tour, and things are good. We're moving right along.
Awesome. Bowling for Soup is one of the premier pop-punk bands today and since the band's birth. If you can, briefly, give us a quick recap regarding the history of the band.
We started out in 1994 in a small town in Texas called Wichita Falls, literally for just something to do. In Wichita Falls, you basically either get in trouble or you find something that can pass the time. And so we dove right in and started making music, and as you said, sort of found this sound that nobody else around us was doing, and more of a California type sound, and which found us making our way down to Dallas, and really just decided we wanted to pursue it, see what happened. Here we are 23 years later, and we've got 17 albums. As you said, we're for some reason considered pioneers of a genre, and so things are good.
Well, I gotta be honest with you, as I am with all my guests, I don't know how you guys continue to do it. Bowling for Soup's most recent conception is called Drunk Dynasty. I could ask many questions about the title itself, but what would you like to tell us about this new CD?
Oh, man, we're super excited about it. We went in and we were going to make an EP, and we honestly just tried to get some new music out. We knew that we had some touring coming up. We knew that we'd be doing Warped Tour this coming summer, and so it was just time to get some new music out. But we went in, we recorded 6 songs, and we were just on a roll, and I was on a roll writing-wise, and we were just clicking on all cylinders as far as recording and stuff. So we went back in a couple of weeks later and made it a full-length album, and it's all crowd-funded, so we made our fans the label. They got to be a part of the whole thing, and really couldn't be prouder of the way that it turned out. I mean, we're super excited. We simplified things a little bit as far as the recording process and just how much we were doing musically on it. Kind of a little throwback to like our Drunken Up to Dance days, and so I think the Drunk Dynasty title makes it make a lot of sense.
This CD is totally cool, from track 1 to track 11. I thoroughly enjoyed listening to the entire album. One of my favorites is Shit to Do, of course.
Yeah.
The story of many lives. I think we all have shit to do on a daily basis. What was it like making this track, and did anything different go into it more than the rest of the songs on this CD?
I really liked the idea of it being a little bit more riffy as far as an album, so like making sure that we had like really good, catchy riffs instead of, whereas a lot of times what we've got into is more like a music bed with a melody over it. And so this one started out with a riff, and, it's just one of those songs where it's like, everybody gets there where you're just absolutely tired of dealing with this situation that you're in because you could be doing so much other stuff out there, So, that one was a super easy one to write. I think that one was maybe 15 minutes, and it was done. And, a lot of this album kind of wrote itself just because, again, I was just kind of in the zone. I was happy to be making happy music again, and, the guys all jumped in and did their stuff. It was just, it was very organic and very quick.
Bowling for Soup's lyrics are spot on with its parody of the societal norms and culture. It definitely speaks the truth with the track Don't Be a Dick.
Absolutely.
How do you even begin to approach a track like this from a lyrical standpoint?
Honestly, that one was 100%. It was just, I had the title first, and I was like, I just want to write a song called Don't Be a Dick. Like, why can't we just, and that's my attitude all the time. Like, why can't we just all be nice to each other and just get along? And there's just people that are just assholes for no reason. So, I just thought maybe an anthem might help. And, so hopefully, some people have played that for some people in their lives, and maybe I've touched upon a few assholes and made them not dicks.
Well, I hope you do, because that would be a great contribution to society.
Thank you.
Listen, it was a super sensational surprise to hear Bowling for Soup's cover of the Gin Blossoms' Hey Jealousy. New Miserable Experience was a phenomenal album. What made you decide to cover Hey Jealousy?
We wanted to do specifically a 90s cover. That was the idea. And so I was texting with Chris about it for a few days, and I was like, I want to do a 90s cover because it just seemed timely, like something that, young adults grew up with, and, something that we had going on, during the beginnings of our band and stuff. So, man, we ran the spectrum of like what it could have been, whether it was going to be the Lemonheads or whether it was going to be Third Eye Blind or, whatever. And that's just the one that we went with. It just seemed like it was the perfect song as far as just the feel and overall just vibe to fit the album. And I'm really glad. I think it turned out really great. And it's one of those where many people who are younger don't even realize it's a cover. That's always a really good compliment.
It is. You guys did an incredible job with it. You really did. Drunk Dynasty is superb as far as I'm concerned. Every track is enjoyable and an extremely entertaining listen. Is there anything else you can say about this CD we might not have covered, if anything at all?
I think the one thing is our last full-length album was called Lunch Drunk Love, and it was when some of us were going through some pretty crazy personal stuff in our lives. I like to refer to it as kind of our angry album, and but it's actually also one of our favorites. This one, found us in a really, really happy place, and it was nice to kind of get back to that again, singing about happy stuff, being happy in live, being back in the studio, and everything just clicking on all cylinders. And so I think if you're a fan of classic Bowling for Soup, this would definitely be something you should give a shot. Because I really do think that we stepped out there and made a great record.
Yeah, you did. You definitely stepped up with this record. Bowling for Soup is on tour right now, as you mentioned, in support of Drunk Dynasty. You have an upcoming show here in Boston in a few days at the Brighton Music Hall on April 6th. What can the fans expect to hear and see from Bowling for Soup at this show?
First of all, let me just say that this tour is crazy good. We did the first show last night. Our support bands are awesome. We have Jaret Reddick and Runaway Kids out with us, and it's just, we've managed to put together such an amazing vibe for a night. But, if you've ever seen Bowling for Soup before, you would know, you never really know what is going to happen. No show is ever the same. There's always something different about every night, and it's whether it's the songs or just shenanigans or whatever. But we promise we'll have more fun than you do, and you will have a lot of fun.
Definitely cool. According to some press I received, over the last few years you have made a name for yourself outside of Bowling for Soup with intimate acoustic performances where you perform BFS hits, solo originals, and more. Mostly known for your involvement in BFS, it is also noted that you are the lead singer of a fictional band, Love Handle, on the hit Disney show Phineas and Ferb. Your music has also been used in various other film, TV, and video game projects. What else can you tell us about these other ventures you are involved with?
Well, yeah, Phineas and Ferb was awesome. I mean, it was a 9-year run, and that show just ended, and the creators have just started another show, which I'm going to be writing music for in the coming months as well. And but I'm also doing a podcast every week called Jaret Goes to the Movies, and that thing is just blowing up right now. I'm also a voice actor. I'm the voice of Chuck E. Cheese, and I basically love anything creative and anything to get out there, just do something fun, and not have to go get a real job.
Who are some of your and the band's musical influences?
It's pretty diverse. I mean, we love bands that can sing. I grew up listening to what my parents listened to in the car. So the Eagles and Willie Nelson and Waylon Jennings. And so I think that's where I get my harmonies from for sure. Listen to my parents sing, and then, listening to old country is where I got my whole being able to tell a story in a song. And then Chris and I grew up listening to 80s metal, and so Motley Crue were a huge influence on us, and any of that bigger than life, stuff that was happening when we were kids. And then, but I think all of us, as we're getting into the early days of starting to think about Bowling for Soup, it was the Descendants and the Ramones, and that's where we can pretty much credit our sound is the bands like that, where once we found punk rock, it was over.
Well, and listen, you guys created a genre, and to keep that up through the years you've been doing it, it's pretty hard to do, and you guys have done it, and you continue to do it, especially with Drunk Dynasty. I mean, this is a great CD. We've discussed quite a bit here. Other than promoting Drunk Dynasty and the tour, is there anything else going on that's out there for Bowling for Soup we might not know about? Anything coming up in the future for you guys?
Well, I'd love to to mention the fact that we also released an acoustic album last year called Acoustic in a Freaking English Church, and that is out, and there's also a DVD that accompanies it. Well, it doesn't accompany it, but there's a DVD out there where you can see the whole thing live as well. We're doing Warped Tour this year, unfortunately not in the Northeast, mostly the Midwest and the Southeast, we're looking at new music early next year, so, just everybody should just go to bowlingforsoup.com and check it all out.
Damn, man, I was hoping you were going to say you were going to be up in the Northeast, because I'm actually going to cover Vans in July.
Yeah, unfortunately, since we all have kids and stuff like that, we have to kind of be a little bit choosy as far as how long we can be going in the summer, so we break it up as far as, just as the routing works out. And Warped Tour is amazing to us every year by letting us, pick which segments we're going to do. So unfortunately, we won't be there, but hopefully you can come see us next week.
Yeah, well, I'll try my best. I'm getting over surgery, so I got a couple more weeks to go. You guys have an incredible sound. I've listened to you guys since you've come out. I've heard all of your stuff, and when I listened to this CD last night, I was like, wow, these guys have really done something special here.
Yeah, as you said, I do thank you for saying the kind words about, helping to create the genre and whatnot. And we were definitely pioneers, if nothing else. I think we're really proud of where we've come and how far we've come. And, we don't have member changes. It's the same guys. And, we managed to stick it out. And we don't have any drama. And we're still having a blast doing it. So, but I think we owe a lot to the fans for staying loyal to us. And because, there's not many bands that I can say I listened to for 20 years. And so, it's a huge compliment that we get to hear that so much, that people do listen to us for, and have listened to us for 20 years, 25 years. So, we're very, very lucky.
You are absolutely correct. And that's the other amazing thing, you guys, for doing it for so long, especially with this CD, Drunk Dynasty, you hit it out of the park with this CD, man. You really did. And I thoroughly enjoyed listening to the entire thing last night. Great job, man.
Well, thank you so much. Thanks, dude.
Anytime, man. And guess what? We're pretty close, so I'm going to let you go. Ladies and gentlemen, vocalist, the phenomenal vocalist, Jaret Reddick. For the pop-punk band, Bowling for Soup, thank you. NECR thanks you. I wish you the best, nothing but the best, with this tour, Drunk Dynasty, all your projects. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You love it. Do it. Go for it. And you've produced some incredible art. I love it. Don't stop.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I won't. I promise. Talk to you soon, man.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Jaret Reddick, vocalist for the band Bowling for Soup. Check them out. Their new CD, Drunk Dynasty. They're going to be at the Brighton Music Hall in Brighton, Mass on April 6th. The CD's great. I can't even imagine what they're going to be like live. If you can, get out. April 6th, Brighton Music Hall, Bowling for Soup. I am Greg, a.k.a. Crazy G, once again for NECR, New England Concert Reviews, and I'll be back later. Peace.